Last year, when the Me Too movement was peaking and companies such as Uber and Facebook were facing boycotts, Jim DeCicco, the CEO of Key2 Life Incorporated, was feeling uneasy about his own company corporate culture. He and his two brothers, who co-founded the Manhattan-based startup that produced Super Coffee, a protein-added beverage sold in stores, were all recent college athletes and self-described white dudes have been hiring guys like themselves. It felt like a locker room sometimes, Mr. DeKiko says. The atmosphere was super competitive and there were few incidents where team members commented on a woman's appearance or made an anti-Semitic joke. Mr. DeCicco was determined to stop the nonsense while the company was still small. His solution? He hired a philosopher. I thought it was an interesting way for us to weave ethics, moral principles, and values into our business without becoming the HR compliant corporate bureaucracy, Mr. DeCicco says. The philosopher at hand was Ray Blackman, a Brooklyn-based ethical risk consultant who previously spent 20 years in academia, most recently teaching ethics at Colgate University, where Mr. DeCicco majored in philosophy. When he noticed his former professor posting on LinkedIn, he sent a message suggesting they meet for coffee. It didn't take Mr. Blackman long to absorb the problem. He spotted a photo of the Keto team on LinkedIn. It was mostly white men. I said, "You're a courting disaster," he recalls. The situation was understandable. The three DeCicco brothers, who are all in their 20s, grew up in Kingston, New York. Their parents worked as the local YMCA and in construction. Jordan, the youngest, invented Super Coffee in his dorm as a college freshman of Philadelphia University. He dropped out of school to launch the business. His brothers soon joined him, backed by $3,300 from their aunts. The three rented an apartment in Lower Manhattan, worked together 24/7, and hired their friends. Our director of sales was the captain of Jordan's basketball team, says Mr. DeCicco. Our regional sales manager was Jake's college roommate. How could a philosopher help? Philosophy tells you to stop BC, says Mr. Blackman, who also had a business background, having owned and managed a wholesale fireworks company for 15 years. Ethics aren't subjective, he says, and values must be backed by action. You can't just say you're for trust and integrity, he says. What the hell does that mean? Typically spending several days a month with the company, Mr. Blackman started drafting a two-page ethics statement, working first with the three brothers and then the entity Keto team. Some material got the X as the employee's third fruit values. The brothers wanted the statement to include the concern for the workers picking coffee beans, for example, but not to admit they lacked the resources to do much about it. Out it went. What remained? A commitment to expanding and diversifying the hiring pool. The statement includes establishing its teams such as advertise it place where non-white guys are. The company says it has since grown from a dozen employees, including 2 women and 2 minorities, to 66 workers, including 22 women and 11 minorities. Women company 2/3 of the leadership team, and the average salary of the female employee is $75,000 compared with $64,000 for men. On the well-being front, Keto started offering unlimited vacation time and restricted worker calls on emails after hours. To encourage a collaborative culture, the company pays sales reps a salary rather than a commission. Meeting focus on sharing strategies and recognizing assists. Regional sales manager Martin Chang, who worked at the two beverage startup before joining Keto, says the culture has evolved since he joined in 2017 and is now more supportive than any he has experienced. We call each other family, he says. But creating an ethical culture attains more than setting policy. Mr. Blackman guides workshops where Keto employees logically analyze topics such as what consists of a fancy statement and what it means to be a jerk. Mr. Blackman who charges $500 to $600 an hour and consults for businesses ranging from a software company to a biochip implantation startup, says good ethics make for good business. In the case of Kita, that seems to bear out.